for the Surface.
Okay.
And he just recently moved to Valve.
Okay.
And he's just starting to settle in there as their architect.
There were some products that were demonstrated internally at Microsoft that never went public, where one of the original Surface table systems was set up, and this was like a physics hack I have never imagined, where they were using, well, taking advantage of interlaced frame scanning, and they had two projectors offset by one cycle,
Okay.
so that they could project two different things through the screen concurrently. So what they were able to do was you were watching the Surface talking about a thing, you walked over with a piece of paper, and it would project additional information about the thing on your piece of paper from the system, and they cheated and used the camera so that they could detect the keystone.
That's cool.
And it had the look of pure magic, because you could move this paper anywhere over the TV and something different was only visible on the piece of paper.
One of the companies I interviewed with, I do not remember their name now. I'd have to look at my notes. They have an interactive display where, of course, it's all touchscreen, but it's very similar to what you saw in, what was it, the Minority Report? Where you can have multiple screens and multiple stuff, and you can move them around and make them bigger, make them smaller, and move elements from one piece to another, and you can shift everything to the left or the right or up or down or whatever. It was really, really cool. I made a joke at the interview saying, so when are you guys going to have the holographic interface? And then you really get the whole Minority Report interface. And they all laughed, and they said, you know how many people tell us that every time they come in here? Like, well, you better start on it. That's like my buddy Marty, because he left Microsoft. I kept picking on him because he was telling me he's working on a super secret project, hardware project for Microsoft, and he wouldn't tell me what it is. And I'm like, oh, am I going to get my hoverboard? He actually said, I cannot confirm nor deny that I am working on a hoverboard for Microsoft.
Now, Microsoft research.
It wasn't until about 3 months before the Surface came out he actually told me what he was working on. Because by then it had all been finalized and they were already starting to generate a about it. I got to play with one of the prototypes. It was kind of cool. His personal machine. But now that he works for Valve, I wonder if he's going to team up with the Oculus guys.
If this was real, I'd be using it.
I haven't had a chance to talk to him. He's been busy with his transition.
Actually, you're still out of range. You were still out of range. Yeah, but you were like here.
Mainly we wrote down each other's presents. They tried to take prisoners and shit like that. Yeah, I mean,
It's okay.
you go to get that one. It's easier to wipe out his peasants, and then they started next
Get your
week.
pellet.
Peasants were an economic behavior.
Good. A little bit light, but
I heard back from the startup company that's been jerking me
you
around.
coming, David?
Oh, yeah, I thought you guys were.
No, I said come get it when you're ready.
Oh,
Headhunting
no.
agency is still
Sorry, I've been
negotiating
talking with him. Are you still breathing?
price.
I'm not ready yet.
And they asked if I have experience with Zendesk.
With the great one?
It's a customer relationship manager. They want to use it, but they haven't installed it yet. So they're looking for somebody who will actually. It's simple. It's a plug and play type of thing. I mean, the most tedious thing is like creating people's IDs and then, signing their roles and such. And so they asked if I've done that, and I said, well, I've used Index, but I wasn't an administrator for it. But here's a list of the other CRMs that I have administered and I have set up. Including setting up Bugzilla back in the day when Bugzilla was a pain in the butt.
I know what you're talking about that
Have you
thrust.
done work with Jira?
Yes, but not as an administrator for it. Just as a user. Name a CRM, I've used it pretty much. I've even used some more esoteric things like Request Tracker and Right Now. And it's not
I know, me too.
a project manager system. It's called the Version 1.
No.
Good leg. And then I started to drop, and you either step back and let me, or you can't. Either way's fine.
And then what was the other one? Oh, we also used Watson.
To be honest, I'm scared about my arms, my hands. Because I've had broken fingers for gloves.
The one from IBM?
Yeah, no. I don't remember who makes it. It was something that was imposed upon us by Adobe.
No.
We were actually guinea pigs to see if it would be deployed.
I know. I didn't trust it. You did not?
It's Marshall, you need to start calling the problem.
Good idea. I like that.
Will that be on my Marshall's exam?
Which, no, but which of those shots did you actually plan to make? Oh, the one back there. Yeah, and you're here now.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Whoa,
Traveling!
Someone's doing dishes tonight! That's the problem. We don't have enough.
No, sword's cocked.
It's not a rule, it's just a courtesy. It's discourteous here for me.
That's not a good spot.
So, Krista, is it just me, or is having a mass weapon, no thrusting, just excessive violence?
Yes. Yes. It is, well, especially, yeah. It's much like watching a club fight. Which is why when I fight, I mean, my preference if I'm going to fight mass weapon with no thrust is my great axe.
Okay.
Is there
Oh,
any,
smash!
There I am fighting. And I don't know if you've ever seen Fabian's Marital Aid.
Oh, no.
It's a giant mace.
Yeah.
It's a 6 foot long, with this much of it as padded. It's not very padded. It's padded with dog.
Shit, I was going to try to kill you while you're here.
would the two axes
That's not worth living.
satisfy the? No,
Nope.
it has to
A
be great.
two-handed single.
Yes.
So,
Well, that I've never fought with one of these, so for me it's like
longsword or
I'm
great.
trying to incorporate angles with a sword.
In the SCA language,
Trying to
I
incorporate
am
a
very
sword that's
unclear
half the length of this.
how they define one versus the other.
Not a direct
It's about 8 inches.
translation.
But I'm not sure that there's technically a
Well,
spec.
long sword comes up to your armpit. Great sword comes up to your eyebrows. That's really, really
When I'm
good.
in the formation, I hold my bow down here, so you can't tell
And
me.
then
Or I hold my
And
pipe
then the length
Mark
of
is
it,
bow line
on the same bastard sword.
it's just another name
down
for
in the
long sword.
behind
That-
the
Oh,
Hand and a half is another name.
That way they have no idea what my range is.
Yay!
That kills a lot of people, especially if I'm shooting arrows. They have no freaking idea how long my range is, and it's way longer than it is.
And then the length of the hilt should be from your elbow
why can't I channel my inner mark?
The trouble is that everybody
the
in
top
pipe
of your
and
hand.
Not a
most people in
chance.
our ear,
There's
no chance in
everybody
hell.
in Sinagua
Okay.
knows
The shaft.
so it's no longer a trick.
So these
But when I go to other
hilts here,
kingdom
they look a little
No,
longer.
he would never do that. I'm sorry, I got to be quiet. Somebody's gonna go.
David, you with the chattering.
And they know what my range is, and they
Oh, jocularity, jocularity!
get on there, and they get busy.
What about the bench warmers
something
over there?
else.
Shouldn't they be playing?
They're all tired.
guy that she killed twice in 2 successive scenarios because he attacked the exact same
Yeah,
guy.
that thrust was there. I almost got caught. I was like,
The
oh,
same
no.
guy.
Oh, that's why as soon as I was like, because I stopped, can't thrust.
Man or a woman?
Woman.
Uh,
She does armor.
in this kingdom?
I don't know if she's with SCA, but she definitely does armor.
Not ringing a bell.
Motion, very nice.
Do you know where she
Look
lives?
for it.
Central Valley.
There's
Yeah, I figured I'm like, how can I get this? I'm
guy.
like,
Yeah.
let's parallel a sword. If he blocks it, he'll just guide it.
No, no.
But if
no.
anything, he'll hopefully
She
guide me
does it
home.
cool. I know her.
Follow the blade is often the watchword of the blade.
I'll go last and see.
Now, with the creature we're talking about in here,
So I wonder how many broken fingers and hands we're gonna have at Crone.
So
You're allowed to grab your own.
that is
Okay.
more where I find it reasonable for people to complain
Come
about
in. Hassle.
hearing about that. Just that not everyone has full gauntlets.
alright.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm pretty something.
Yeah, but somebody was saying,
Use
oh,
two-handed
just
weapons.
borrow a weapon from
Yes.
someone else. But
Can
I'm like,
you-
well, you need
Right, but
more
can
than
you
just the
use it
weapon.
one-handed?
Yeah, but I mean,
You have
As
to
long as you
switch
don't
it.
have anything in your other
when there are
hand,
people like Uther who have hands the size of most of
Like,
heads.
other than a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Okay, what else is there in your hand?
Well,
Are you
Kelly was
buckler?
showing me how.
Oh, no, okay, I was thinking like
Because
you
he's
had
hurt
it.
his
I've
hands
seen
over the
people walk
years.
out there
His
with
right
great
hand
sword
is
with a buckler in
significantly
one.
larger
Really?
than his left hand.
Yeah, this is truly great
I'm
sword.
assuming that Nicolage means, no really, one weapon, two hands, no other equipment.
That's
No other-
definitely how I
Okay.
read
Yeah.
what he
Speaking-
wrote.
Well,
but-
that's not what he wrote,
Yeah.
but
Speaking of,
I believe that is
hands.
what he means.
Yeah, I got a few of them.
Fleeg actually pointed out that that wasn't what he wrote.
Yeah.
That in fact, the way he wrote it, somebody could go out Christians with a great sword reversed in one hand and a sword in the other.
But we're
I
all
haven't heard
adults
that.
here. We know what he's talking about.
I believe he means you need two fully armored hands and one weapon of any. I mean, you don't technically have to take a two-handed weapon.
You just have to use it two-handed.
You
I thought
just
it was a great weapon.
Have
It
to
said
use
great
it
weapon.
two-handed.
Did it say two-handed or great weapon?
I think it said two-handed.
Okay. Yeah, I have,
which-
I have like a 3-foot mace I like to use.
But so it would have been
Well,
better
this
if
is a great weapon anyway.
it would have been more precise for him to say a great
Good.
weapon.
If that's what he wanted.
Nice.
Well,
I mean, quite
wouldn't it-
frankly, he should have told
My
us
breath now.
exactly what he wanted. If he really wants everybody using